Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys check out duelingguard.com/RTY5 where you guys can order their new Gauntlet TCG bag. For $99, you get the bag. You also get the Saber Mat Sling, which is your playmat tube holder, and then you also get an additional free mystery playmat. So again, check out duelingguard.com using code RTY5 at checkout or going directly to duelingguard.com/RTY5. See you guys in the video. All right, everybody, let's get into it. We got some yellow kid versus blue Doflamingo here at the last Japanese CS the other day. I have not really paid too much attention to OP10. Like, I've watched quite a few games, but like I haven't really been paying attention to like the meta, to be honest. And really, I've been watching Usopp more than I've been watching kids. So this is gonna be super interesting to see. This looks like a good Doffy hand. Has a stacker, has a weevil. The only thing it's really missing is a Jinbei. And I didn't see if it's going first or second. Also has pudding, which against yellow decks is generally good. I don't know. I believe the traditional way of playing yellow is like starve, and I'm not sure if kid plays that way, like similar to a now. So we'll see if that is the playstyle. If so, that pudding is going to be really good for the Doffy player. Let's see here. And did we see? Okay, yeah, Gadatsu into 7 cost law, 8 drop kid. This hand looks pretty good for the kid player. 2/2Ks as well. I think the only thing it's really missing is maybe necessarily like a 10 drop heal, 10 drop ace. But you have time to draw it. So honestly, I think this hand is pretty perfect for both players. So I think we're in for like a good game, assuming that kid is playing the starve route. But when I see Gadatsu in a deck list, I just assume that it's naturally just like kind of the starve, hit them at 4 life. Obviously Doffy's like hardest matchup is a Nell, and that's because of like Yamato and just the way they outvalue late game and KOing, and just like its stall can deal with the speed of Doffy well enough. I'm not sure. I haven't seen enough kid gameplay to know if kid can do the same. So let's find out. Here we go. Doffy going first too, so maybe not the best stacker for going first, but a stacker nonetheless. So we'll definitely take that. Top 3. Can't see. Looks like the 2K law, play law, and the Sengoku. So you definitely, I think, want to take the Sengoku and maybe establish a body. He's just gonna choose to establish the 2K law instead of the kid or the bounce law. So just a 2 and pass here. Maybe we dig for a teach. I imagine it's just swing 7 here. And this way, like, yeah, they take a life. And then you get a card out of hand as well. And then get a 2K back to yours. But you don't get any board presence here, which is kind of the worry here. I think kid generally wants to counter pretty heavy if he wanted to. Oh my god, he's going to give him a 2 and a 1 off the rip. 2 2s, I mean. If he counters, he doesn't have to deal with the law effect. Interesting. Alright, well, go to our 4 Dawn turn. I'm curious to know if countering there was worth it. I mean, you lose 2 cards instead of 1. I don't know. I'd be inclined to take. But yeah, we drew into the Shirahoshi blocker. If we're focused on the Gadatsu player, just leaving them at 5 life, the Gadatsu play, leaving them at 5 life doesn't matter. So we'll just go ahead and swing 7 and then go ahead and play the Shirahoshi. Shirahoshi really good into black decks. She's a little bit weaker here because bounce law is just so strong. In comparison to, like a KO effect, bounce law can just put it back into the kid player's hand. So it doesn't really get her effect as a, on KO effect. So I'm going to find a Sengoku. Maybe looking for a teach here. I think I saw one immediately. Yep. Does he take the teach? Yeah. Found a teach immediately. So now we can just teach and then bounce the law. To bounce the Shirahoshi back to hand. And then I think we're swinging big too. Yeah, we're gonna swing 9. This is kind of alarming here though, because I don't know what triggers Kid is playing here, so maybe we're playing around some kind of trigger here. Swing 7. Do we have an extra Dawn? Oh yeah, we're gonna bounce the Sengoku back to hand. And bounce the Shirahoshi back to hand. Yep. Yep, they're gonna take. Do we get a trigger? No trigger. Looks like Searcher. Oh no, just another kid. Or is that a Searcher? I can't tell from here. I think it's a Searcher, Luffy. Yep. And then play another Sengoku. That's a lot of Boa. Looks like we're gonna be taking a Boa. That's like Boas for the rest of the game, because I think we have one in hand too. So no more Boas for the rest of the game unless we make it way back to our deck, which isn't entirely impossible. So we're gonna swing 5 at the law here. See if he gives it to us. Obviously he shouldn't. Yeah, he's gonna counter. Luffy, do some searching here. We could take a 2K of the X-Drake or an 8 cost Kid. But it looks like we're gonna elect to take a 2K. And then Gadatsu and KO the law, I assume. But the teach also, KOing the teach here wouldn't be bad. But yeah, gonna elect to choose to KO the law. Six Dawn here. We can, or is it 7? Yeah. 7 Dawn here. Yeah, I was gonna say we can elect to Jozu and put the Gadatsu back in hand. It's just a lot of pressure. And we're gonna put the Sengoku back in hand. And swing 5. And then search again. We're just getting, that's 3 searches off of that one Sengoku. So we're gonna swing 7 actually. And then play a Weevil, draw a card. Good sequencing from the Doffy player. Finds another Jozu off that draw. Counter again. I wonder how much counter, how many cards in hand now? I can't really see. Looks like still a decent amount here. And we're gonna play Law. We're just trying to stay really healthy here. So Law effect can put a Supernova. We're gonna go ahead and put the Kid back in life and then flip it back. So now we're back at 5 life. And then swing 7 at life. Or 7 at Weevil. Yep. So that just should be an easy 2K. And then we can activate our leader effect, flip up the top card, and then now we have a 9K blocker. And then pass. So unfortunately not being able to KO anything, but we were able to heal. So not too terrible position here for the Kid. 2 Gadatsus in hand. Not looking too great here. This turn could be really explosive for Doffy, whether it's just swinging big or developing a lot of bodies here. We're on 9 Dawn, so you could technically Boa, develop 2 Boas, and then if there's something in your stack, develop a 3rd body too. Should be really good. You also have Teach, so that's not even necessary. Yeah, just take that free one. That's the one you put there for free. Yep. Use that Sengoku. This is one thing I was talking about. If you guys listen to our podcast, we were talking about oh my god, that is Hound Blaze. That is 2 Hound Blazes. Oh my god. That's a tech and a half. He finds the Jinbei, but the Jinbei is not even the exciting part about that search. Man, You know, that card's actually really good. I think if you're playing against a lot of Blackbeard and a lot of Mirror, I don't think Houndblaze is a bad tech. You know, you have something that can bottom deck Dot Q, that can bottom deck you know, your opponent's teach, and then it can also make your 1K searchers or your 1 cost searchers swing for 5K. Very good in both those matchups. So honestly, Houndblaze is a pretty good tech. Gonna elect to take here. Interesting. Trigger. Draw 2. And I believe we have to trash 1. I think it's just a cycle. If it's a cycle, I'd be tempted to trash a Gadatsu. Oh, he's gonna trash a kid. Interesting. Alright, so we're just gonna develop 1 body with a boa here. Or we could do Jinbei boa, but I don't think we need a Jinbei yet. Yeah, he's debating it. We just kind of have a full board, so it's a little weird. But yeah, you can Jinbei boa, or we're just gonna straight up just law. Bounce. Okay, so we're gonna make room on our board ourselves, and then teach effect. This is a good sequencing too, because he can swing 9, so that he can't just free block, and then reestablish the Weevil standing. So pretty good sequencing here from the Doffy player. Yeah, and then we're just gonna block, but it's not a free block. And then a 2K. So really valuing the Shirahoshi in hand. Okay, we're at 10 Dawn. It'd be interesting to see, do we double Gadatsu here? We swing 5 into 5, see what we get here. He does he has 3 bricks in hand, but we've seen him bounce that same Sengoku to hand over and over again. Also has a few 2Ks and another Jozu to use. But yeah, he's just gonna give him a 2K with the law. You can swing 9 into 7 or 9 into 5 just to guarantee the kill here. I do think that's correct. It looks like, especially if we're going the double Gadatsu line, this clears both bodies, which seems really strong. Yeah, that's super strong. And it's going to KO both bodies. And then we can use our lead effect, turn law back up. And now we have a blocker, a 9K blocker. So very strong turn here from the kid player. 10 Dawn though. And we know for Doffy, like, it's as good as a turn that was for kid, Doffy can just always rebuild the board really fast here. And yeah, we're gonna use that Sengoku to see if it's even to see if we can find anything to help us, whether that be like a Jinbei, a Gecko. Yep, and we find another Jinbei. So now we can like Jinbei boa into boa effect and then use our lead effect. Just to see if we need to use teach. Definitely start with the 7 lead though. He's gonna take, that's another Shirahoshi, so. Oh, just gonna go for another Jozu. Bounce back another Gadatsu. That's kind of scary though, seeing as though you're still at 4 life. So you gave him another tool to potentially KO something. Ooh, he has an ace in hand too. So teach effect. And then swinging 9 again so that we can get over this 9K blocker. Very, very well done here for the Doffy player. And then Jinbei Weevil again. And then draw another card. Thinking it over, I definitely think you just have to block 1K here. Going to 1 seems kind of scary. Against 2 Jozus. Obviously we can Gadatsu and then swing over the Jinbei. But 2 Jozus is kind of hard to deal with. Alternatively, if we go to 1, that leaves us able to play our ace and swing 10, which would make these Josus a little bit less scary. So I probably could see the temptation to go to 1 here, because you can heal, go back to 2, and probably clear 2 bodies. Yeah, you're definitely clearing 2 bodies because you can swing 5 and a 5, 6 and a 6, and then 9 into 5, and then 10 and a 7. So, you know, I definitely would have been tempted to go to 1. Alternatively, we drew another law for turn, which is very strong. So we can heal again this way. Yeah, 7 and a 5. Pretty good. And then 9 into 7. Yeah, I think we go 9 and a 7 and then heal. Yeah, I think this is worth it only if you can guarantee that you get the 7 off board. And you can let the Weevil live because you're clearing the bigger body. So 11 and a 7 just kind of guarantees it. Yep. And then another law ability. Heal 1. And then we can swing 6 at life. I think I would be, yeah, I was going to say, I think I would just take this if I was the Doffy player because it just makes Gadatsu weaker. Yep. And then we will block, restand one of our 9k laws. Cool. So now if he wants to Gadatsu me as the Doffy side, the only target he really has is Teach, which is still a valuable target for the kid player. Let's see, man. He's gotten so much value just from bouncing these Sengokus. There's a Femur. Weevil. Looks like another Josu, a Crocodile, and I can't see the top card. It's another Jinbei. Wow, 3 Jinbeis. And he takes the Femur. Femur obviously a little bit less scary when your opponent knows you have it in hand. So they can play around it a lot easier. Especially with this leader effect that just makes everything a blocker and kind of hinges on developing big blockers. I'm going to take it. No trigger. That's interesting. I feel like you could have justified the trigger there. Purely because you have an extra body that can swing next turn at board. And then, you know, if you play ace and heal. But also I understand we only have 5 cards in hand, so it can be debatable either way. Swinging another 7 here. I'd be tempted to just... You could probably just block this one comfortably. If you counter out, it hurts. If you take... We are. No trigger. Then we're committing to playing ace next turn. A 3rd Josu, man. Bounce back to Gadatsu again. So now you just kind of have no tempo. Like, the Doffy has so much tempo, so much cards in hand, so many cards in hand, so many swings on board. It's really tough for Doffy here. Just gonna swing 8. We obviously have a free block. Unless this is a boa. Yeah. Very good sequencing. Put a boa on top so we don't have a free block. A 3rd Houndblaze. Dude, how many Houndblazes are we playing? Gonna draw the Houndblaze too. And then swing 9. Yeah, so we have to 9 and then 1k with the Gadatsu, bounce back to hand. Yeah, so at this point, we're committed to playing the ace. We should be able to clear potentially 2 bodies, though. Because we can swing 9, 9, 9, 10. Seems pretty good.
さあ先ほどの9000はローのブロックと下脱で守った稲荷選手のターンです。あとも変な話多分犬神グレーを
Yeah, okay. Gonna start with the 9 at 6. I think that's correct. Yeah, it's interesting to not counter there, but you know that he has another 9 swing, and you'd rather save that counter for this 9 at 7. 9 at 6, he swings it at the Weevil. So ace, and then we're going to heal. And then we're going to go 10 at 7. Can't... I think we have 2 2Ks. Unless that's another Sengoku. Then we don't have 2 2Ks. Do we give him 3 cards for this? Yeah. Gave him 3K counter. Then we're gonna swing 5 at lead. And then another. Okay. So now we know we have no trigger to play around for this first swing. We could take turn to build board, but honestly, we're getting very low hand. And we have 2 big bodies on board. So we should probably take this opportunity to try to push our opponent as low as possible. Also, obviously we don't know this as the side of Doffy, but the kid player doesn't have another ace. I think if he had another ace, he's sitting in a comfortable spot. Right now, he's not sitting so comfortably. Like, this game is still very winnable for him. But if he saw another ace or had another ace in hand, he'd be living the good life. Looks like we Satori, Gadatsu, Kid. We have a decent amount of counter. We have 3 2Ks. And 2 1Ks? 3 1Ks in hand. So we're pretty comfortable in our 6-card hand. 2 life. This is interesting. We have a Helmblaze and a Perfume. Yeah, like I said, knowing that we have Perfume in hand, I'd be tempted to just try to push my opponent as close to 0 as possible here. Can swing pretty largely. Looks like he's tempted on playing the Sengoku again, though. Wonder what we would be searching for here. Yeah, start with a simple 7 before we even commit any Don. Yep. For Don, we're gonna play a Boa, a Weevil, Crocodile, and a Teach. Yeah, I mean, that's a good stack for sure. Definitely play the Weevil, draw the Crocodile. So we could swing 9-9 here. Or 8-9. No, we could swing 9-9. Yeah. Gonna go for another 7 though. I do think he should really push through here if he can. But maybe he's planning on using Houndblaze and pushing through that way. I think that's what he's planning on doing. I think he's planning on Houndblazing and pushing through with Teach. So that's not too terrible. Okay, took, and we're down at 1 life now. Yeah, he set the 2 Dawn aside too. I know if you're the kid player, you're not playing around this Houndblaze at all.
フを取って白星を出させて犬神グレンでいなくさせてリーサルを狙うという
可能性もあるぞと。
もしかしての可能性ですけど。
手札が今5枚5枚で、はい。今確認
5 cards in hand.
そうですね。ただ
ここ迷いますよね。
I do think we could have swung bigger with our Jozus.
こうきつい。
ただこれティーチの起動メイン
But yeah, I also don't mind at this point just kind of putting all down on lead.
あ、まあ使えなくはないのか。別にアタック時効果を使わずに全ドンでいくという手もある。
3, 4, 5, and then teach effect.
あーでもここは8000のリーダーアタック時で
Okay, so we're just gonna go with an 8 lead and then draw.
ここは一番
Yeah, he's just gonna take that free block. So we are gonna push through with the teach here.
まああとティーチでアタックする。
Yeah.
犬神グレン使います。
Houndblaze bottom deck the Luffy. Caught him off guard, I'm sure. Target the teach, I assume. So teach is a 6k, and then we can use lead effect or teach effect to put the perfume back on top
メインで1枚は何をセットしたか。
and swing 8,
あーなるほど。
9k. Yeah, good job.
1000のリーダーでこれ守らないと
Sequenced really well here.
見えていたのでこれで守らないと稲荷選手ももう
All right, so now we're kind of in a tricky situation. We counter, looks like it's going to be 3 cards. We also just don't want to go to 0 because if we go to 0, we just play into perfume, which we've seen our opponent search, right? So like we know perfume is in hand. So it's a tough situation regardless. And Teach is on board, but Teach is sideways. So we clear the Teach, so we know he's swinging at least 15 next turn. If we top deck an ace, I think we're in prime position to just win the game. That might be our only out, though, to be honest. We can also play 8-cost Kid and maybe potentially go for game. 8-cost Kid, swing Trash of Life, and then you can swing 7, 9, 9, 10. He has a 2 and a 1, though, so that doesn't get there. Obviously, the Kid player doesn't know that, but that might be one of your only outs here. So interesting decision to make. I think you have to count around here, though, to be honest, and just hope that you get a Kid top deck. Yep. Yeah, an ace top deck. We're living a great life here. Anything else, we might be cooked. Let's see, we swing 5 into the Teach. We swing 9 into the Weevil, 9 into the Jozu, 10 into the Jozu. So I think we can clear everything but the Boa here. And we might not even be able to clear. Yeah, I think we can clear everything but the Boa. 2 and a 1 though, so maybe not. No, we could definitely, yeah, we can clear everything here. We do have a Shirahoshi in hand as well, so we could play A-Cost Kid and Shirahoshi and try to... Oh, he blocked for the Teach. Oh, and then swung 9 and a 7. Oh, well played. Yeah, man. If you're the Kid player though, you really wish you had ace. If you had ace, you could punish this board so hard. I do think you're still struggling even with the ace. He would still have 3 swings next turn, but you're at 2 life, and you have a decent amount of counter. Like you could get out of this theoretically, if you had ace. And make him trash a life. Yeah, restand. Oh, that trigger. There's no trigger there either. I think it does have a 1k counter, so that you at least know you're not getting a brick in hand. Yeah, cycle the brick out of your hand. 1 card in hand. Just a Cavendish or a Hawkins with 1k. So you're going to have 2k in hand and a 2k in hand, a blocker, and you're going against Perfume as well. So I definitely think we are cooked here on the side of Kid. How do we swing here? One card in hand. You definitely just get there on 7s, right? Yeah, and you can feel free to start with the 7 too because you know the top card isn't a trigger. So Teach isn't in any danger, neither is Boa. Yeah, and I think we're just dead to math here. There's no way out. Yeah, we're just gonna take just perfume. Perfume.
線で行くしかない。
いやこれはもうフェムル
そうですね。そうですね。
もうこれパフュームフェムルというカードはブロッカー貫通
Am I getting trolled? He has 2 cards in hand.
これはそうですねパフュームフェムルがあります手札にそうですねフェムルをはい誰に付与
Okay, I was gonna say, please
パフュームヘメルを使います。
perfume the Boa.
そしてパワーが
Yes.
一番高いハンコックにブロッカーを発動できなくさせる効果を付与。やはりハンコックの
Yep,
パフューム
and Boa is gonna take it. So there you have it. Very good game. I think Kid was very close. If Kid can do just like a tad bit better, 1 card better, I think he was in a good position to win the game. Just super unfortunate for him. Just ever so slightly out of range to close it out. But nonetheless, a very good game to watch. I think the Doffy player played really well. And seeing some of the triggers or the Hound Blaze come into hand, the tech come into play was really fun to see. Doffy sequenced really well around the 9k blockers too that the Kid player was establishing. So very well done on the side of the Doffy player. Super fun game. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoy these kind of videos. If you do, leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Peace.